This is homework problem 8-120 from the H8-7 homework assignment on polynomial division with area models. So let's go ahead here and we'll get started. It says Carlos is trying to find all the zeros of y equals x to the third plus 5x squared minus 16x minus 14, and he sees this graph. Okay, so looks like he's graphed it on his calculator. If you look on the right side here, I graphed it on mine. If you don't have a graphing calculator at home, get out your phone and you can probably download the Desmos app with parent permission, obviously. It is free. It doesn't cost a single thing there, and you can use that. If you have questions about it while we're away, go ahead and send me a remind or an email there, and I will do my best to answer anything. Or you can just, use YouTube or Google to look up, videos on how to use it. It's pretty easy to use, but like I said, if you don't have one there, that can be a helpful tool for you. All right, so it says from the graph, it says what appears to be an integer solution to this equation here. So now it looks like, right, we've put in 0, so it's not just a function anymore. We're solving this equation, looking for the x-intercepts or the roots. And as you look on here, there are 3 of them, which makes sense because it's the degree of 3, right? And I'm going to take it here and let's see here. Over here, you've got one here. It's like 2.73 something there. It's kind of messy. We want integer values though, right? The second one there, negative 0.732, also messy. And then we go over to the third one over here. We get x equals -7, right? So on his graph over here, right, this part here, that's where x equals -7. Looks like it's a single root that's going through there. Okay, so we'll say x equals -7. It says check your answer. Well, we could just take it there and plug it into the equation, right? And you can use your calculator for this if you want to. Let's just go here. I'm gonna jump out of mine. And I'm gonna say, 7 to the third power. So we got 7 to the third power plus. Whoops. Make sure you arrow out whatever one you're using. 5x. So 5 times 7, and we're going to square that one, and then minus 16 times our x, which is 7. I'm sorry, -7. I need to put -7 into all these. Dang it. It's all right. It's as easy as second insert, put a negative in. Second insert, put a negative in. Second insert, put a negative in. If you didn't know how to do that, well, look, you already learned something today here. All right, and then we've got minus 14 there, right? So I should get 0 if that really is an answer, and you'll see it is 0. So we've checked it there. We know that's good. Now, C says, since x equals -7 is the solution to the equation, what is the factor associated with this solution? So we've worked on this a lot here recently. If x equals -7 is the root, right, we just take that and we add our 7 to each side, and we get x plus 7 equals 0. So that means that x plus 7 is the factor we'd be dealing with. Now it says use polynomial division to find the other factor. Okay, so if we know that -7 is a root, then we know x plus 7 is a factor. It should divide in there an equal number of times there, so that we do not end up with a remainder. So I'm going to do that part down below here. So I'm doing an x to the third equation divided by an x. So here's what the problem looks like. We've got x to the third plus 5x squared minus 16x minus 14, and we're dividing it by an x plus 7. So when we do this here, we know that we're going to have an x plus 7. And when we build our area model, we'll need columns for our x squared, an x, and a constant term there, because x to the third divided by x is x squared. I think my mic's about to run out of power here, so I'm trying to hurry and get through this. So the next thing we're going to do here then, right, is we're going to take our x to the third term. We're going to put it in down here, just do our division. That would make this x squared. This would be 7x squared. We need a total of 5x squared, so I'm going to have to put a negative 2x squared here, which makes this negative 2x. Negative 2x times 7 is negative 14x. Okay, we need a total of negative 16x's, so we need a negative 2x here, which would make this negative 2, and negative 2 times 7 is negative 14, which should happen because, right, we need negative 14, so we don't have a remainder. So we just divided it and got our answer to be x squared minus 2x minus 2. So now they want us to rewrite that original expression. So we're going to do that down here. This is for e. So we have x to the third plus 5x squared minus 16x minus 14 is going to equal the quantity of x plus 7 times the quantity of x squared minus 2x minus 2. And then it says the other factor leads to two other solutions to the equation. I'm sorry, I forgot the equals 0. Equals 0. So now our goal here for f is we're going to take this, since we've rewritten it in factored form, we're going to take this now and we're going to solve it. So just going to use our zero product property, right? X plus 7 equals 0. We already know this answer is negative 7. And then we're going to take x squared minus 2x minus 2, set it equal to 0. Well, this one doesn't factor, so we're going to have to take it here and we're going to use our quadratic formula. So we're going to say the opposite of negative 2 plus or minus the square root of negative 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 2 all over 2 times 1. We'll just simplify it down. We've got 2 plus or minus. That would be 4 plus 8 would be 12 inside of our square root. And that's all over 2. And then we can simplify this a little bit more here, right? 12 is the same thing as 2 radical 3. So when we take this here and we give them each their own denominator, 2 divided by 2 plus or minus 2 radical 3 divided by 2 is going to give us 1 plus or minus radical 3. So the answers we get for this would be x equals negative 7, 1 plus radical 3, and we would get 1 minus radical 3. And if you want to check them, you can even do, 1 plus the square root of 3, 2.732. We can do 1 minus the square root of 3. You get negative 0.732, which I remember from our graph, but we'll just go over and show you. Here is our negative 0.73, and then here is our 2.73. So we know that those answers are correct. This is a lot of what we're going to be doing in the last section, so hopefully you took this problem seriously. If you have questions, please make sure you let me know. Thanks for watching.